Hi everyone, I'm Daisy Rocha and this is what's happening in Brazil. We'll start by updating you on the latest news from the country. Last weekend, over 100 Brazilians endured 12 hours without food on yet another U.S. deportation flight. They faced harsh conditions on their journey back to Brazil, arriving in Ceará state handcuffed and hungry. Lula's government promised to work on a more humane process for deportees. President Donald Trump's decision to impose a 25% tariff on the U.S. steel and aluminum imports directly affects Brazil. The country is the second largest supplier of these materials to the U.S., exporting almost 20% of all the metal produced by Brazilian steel mills. These new measures threaten Brazil's economy, causing price drops and increased employment. 1 month after the massacre at the Brazil's Landless Rural Workers Movement camp, the masterminds remain unidentified. The attack on the Algabenário settlement in São Paulo left 2 dead and 6 injured. The investigation continues, with the movement demanding more efficient efforts to bring responsible parties to justice. I'm Still Here, directed by Walter Salles, has won the Goya Award. Called the Spanish Oscars, this prestigious award highlights the film's significant impact on Brazilian cinema. The story, based on actual events, follows Eunice Paiva's search for the truth about her husband's disappearance during the dictatorship. The movie is also competing at the 2025 Oscars in 3 categories. Toxic masculinity, security failures. What is fueling football-related violence among the sports fans? Our in-depth report dives into the underlying causes of fan violence, exploring insights from experts to understand the role of public authorities. Watch now on our Story of the Week.
The scenes were shocking. The clash between uniformed fans of Santa Cruz and Sport in Pernambuco at the end of January reignited the debate on public safety during sporting events. The city became a stage of war. 12 people were injured and 13 were arrested during the hours-long episode of violence. As a result, the state government decided to ban the presence of football fans at the next 5 matches between the 2 clubs.
So what was done was a linear decision, 5 matches for one club and 5 matches for the other. And what we want is for the clubs and the federation to implement security measures together with the public security. It has gotten to the point where the military police are organizing lines at a stadium, but it is a private event.
In an injunction, the Court of Justice suspended the state government's ordinance banning the presence of fans at football matches. In the Legislative Assembly, deputies reacted to the governor's decision.
The government made a mistake by trying to give a simple answer to a much more complex issue, starting from an assumption that for me is elementary. You can't associate football violence with violence in football. Violence is a very broad complex. You need to tackle the causes of violence, not football.
This was not the first case of football fan violence in the state of Pernambuco. Entities linked to organized football fandoms advocate a more in-depth debate on public security. Faced with so much aggression on the streets and the tension resulting from it, the question that remains is what motivates this violence among football fandoms.
The first point I want to make has to do with the masculine ethos, a way of constructing masculinity that predominates in various components of the football fan base, not just organized supporters, but fans in general, which has to do with this kind of aggressive, violent masculinity, where you have to show you're ready to fight. So there is the masculine ethos, where violence is valued positively.
The Social Observatory of Football published a report in 2024 cataloging the cases of violence between fans in the previous year. According to the document, most of the conflicts take place outside stadiums, often far from them, involving different fans and even clashes with security forces.
In Brazil, I see a connection between these events and social inequality and consequently the lack of public policies aimed at young people. In other words, little concern for the inclusion of these young men in the scope of state policies.
Everybody probably has a homemade remedy for something, right? The tradition of herbal medicine passed down through generations enriched our indigenous and African roots. It had just been included in Brazil's public health system through the live pharmacies. A new bill in the state of Pernambuco aims to turn this service into a public policy. Know the details on today's Culture Talk.
In a productive backyard full of life and smells, Edilza Lima is making history. She created the Mãe de Artes project in the city of Jaboatão dos Guararapes, Pernambuco state, and coordinates a space that is much more than a garden. It is a living pharmacy. Edilza is the guardian of an ancestral heritage. She talks to plants and seeks life wisdom from them.
I was going through a lot of pain. Then my grandmother said, "Take a leaf like this and put it in your hand." So I followed what she said, took the leaf and did it. I was pain-free for 12 hours.
Because of this connection, medicinal plants give rise to tinctures, oils, soaps, and ointments that help prevent and treat various illnesses. All of this is based on the wisdom of indigenous herbal medicine.
The plants took me back to the memory of my grandmother Josefa, nicknamed Moça, who used to tell me, "Go over there and put it on my foot," to cure chilblains. Things like this to cure problems in life.
Frieira para curar coisas da vida. Simplesmente era
It was simply what I dreamed of doing, and what I'm able to do today, to take back my family's Afro-Indigenous knowledge.
Farms like Edilza's can be connected to Brazil's public health system, popularly known in Portuguese as SUS. In Pernambuco, the experience of a natural treatment for various health issues at low cost is getting closer to becoming a reality. State Deputy Doriel Barros has filed a bill with the Legislative Assembly to establish the Living Pharmacies program in Pernambuco. The proposal seeks to expand the therapeutic options SUS offers, strengthening safe and sustainable access to natural treatment. It also strengthens the work of family farming and agroecology.
An inexpensive form of care, an effective form of care, and a form of care with fewer side effects, with the population taking more of a leading role in caring for themselves and putting themselves in charge of their own health and lives.
At the federal level, the Ministry of Health already supports herbal medicine initiatives. Every year, a call for proposals is issued to transfer funds to state and municipal health departments that have living pharmacies projects. In other states, initiatives are already well advanced. In 2023, we showed the success of the initiative in Betim, in the state of Minas Gerais, and São Luís, the capital of Maranhão. If the bill is approved, Pernambuco will be able to expand access to syrups, ointments, and tinctures prepared in productive backyards and agroecological sites like Edilza's. This is a future that values our roots and brings well-being to thousands of people.
Para a população é benefício importante.
For the population, it's an important benefit since we're offering them another form of care.
Essa população.
Então a ciência vai estar ajudando e também dando
So science will be helping and also giving us the knowledge of the scientific names of these plants that we sometimes have but don't know. Knowledge will be the basis of what you are going to do as a care, because when you can't combine the knowledge you have with what you really have to do, you can harm yourself. By having a living pharmacy, we already have all the expertise, all the experience, all the answers to what nature can give us.
Toda a expertise, toda a experiência, toda a resposta do que a natureza consegue dar a gente.
You like the show? So hit the like button and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive notifications. We'll see you next week.